Why, hello there. I'm Sin. We are in the Book Nook, and today we're going to talk about my past, present, and future of books. What I've finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what we're going to get into. All right, so today I am not wearing a hat. Maybe you thought, maybe she just wears those hats and has hair attached to them. These are the thoughts that go through my brain, you guys. I don't know why. And it's really warm. It's like 70 degrees. The other day it was like 20 degrees. So the weather's being weird, so we're having our hair down and no hats today. Anyway, I'm sure I'll be wearing them again soon. Don't you worry. I'm sure no one's worried about that. So, okay, normally I would be like, I finished this book recently. I mean, I did finish This Thing Between Us by Gus Moreno, which is a super weird Lynchian horror that is focused around grief, and it's just insanely weird. I have a standalone review that'll be coming for that one. My reading has slowed down a little bit because I've gotten kind of wrapped up in watching. Do you ever get sucked into YouTube? Because hey, we're on YouTube right now, right? I have gone down the Viva La Dirt League rabbit hole, and I've been watching like their D&D campaign, which really makes me want to like play D&D again because I used to play D&D. We used to do we did an online game just because it was easier. I don't really have any friends in person that I could meet up that actually want to play D&D. But so I started watching the Viva La Dirt League D&D, and I watched their other videos too, which are hilarious. But I digress. Yeah, I just started watching that, and it's like I think there's over like 200 plus videos in that series, and yeah, so it has detracted a little bit from me reading as many books as normal. But I'm still reading plenty. I've just been reading a little bit less. Usually I go through phases like that where it'll slow down eventually. But yeah, if you guys have not seen Viva La Dirt League before, and you like D&D or you play video games or you like comedy sketches, they're just really funny, a fantastic group of actors and actresses from New Zealand, and they're freaking fantastic. Anyway, let's get back to the books. So, I'm currently in the middle of Inferno's Heir by Tiffany Wang. Just started it, only a few chapters in, and I am enjoying it so far. It's a fantasy book, and it follows this story of this like brother and sister. Jura is the brother. He is an a-hole, and he seems like a POS, and he has a half sister. Her name is Tia, and she is just trying to survive, basically. And what it seems like is going to happen is she doesn't want to be married off to this like Lord Derp and Nerp. I don't know what his actual name is. I don't remember. But her brother, like her half brother, sorry, wants to like marry her off and get her out of the picture, and she doesn't want to. And so she's like, okay, well, maybe if I infiltrate the rebels and turn them over to my brother will like, we can make a deal where I don't have to marry this douche. And so she's kind of like a morally gray character. Do whatever to survive is like her MO. So far, it's intriguing. I am interested. The story kind of starts right off, and I am enjoying my time in the pages so far. We'll let you know in the future. I'm doing a whole like kind of vlog about a reading blog of the 4 recent releases from Bindery Books, and that's going to be part of that. I mentioned it in one of my other recent reads videos. Let's tell you about what I'm going to get into. All right, so the first one is The Lamb by Lucy Rose. And I picked this up because I just kept seeing it on social media, and a lot of people seem to be reading it. And so this was a book sitting on the shelf at the library, and I said, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Is this about cannibalism? I don't know. There's a big meat on the cover. There's a big meat. You want some big meat? All right. Is that weird? Anyway, let me tell you about the big meat. Oh, Margot and Mama have lived in the forest ever since Margot can remember. When Margot is not at school, they spend quiet days together in their cottage, waiting for strangers to knock on their door. Strays, Mama calls them. People who have strayed too far from the road. Mama loves strays. Okay, where's this going? They're gonna eat them, aren't they? She feeds them wine, keeps them warm, then she satisfies her burning appetite by picking apart their bodies. I knew it. Gross. Ew, Mama. I'm sure the daughter probably eats them too. But Mama's want is stronger than her hunger sometimes, and when a beautiful white-toothed stray named Eden turns up in the heart of a snowstorm, Margot must confront the shifting dynamics of her family, untangle her own desires, and make her bid for freedom. With this gothic coming of age tale, debut novelist Lucy Rose explores how women swallow their anger, desire, and animal instincts and wrings the relationship between mother and daughter until blood drips from it. All right, mother daughter cannibal relationship. I guess the daughter's lucky that Strays showed up, otherwise, her mom probably would have ate her, right? These are the things I think about. I guess you don't eat your family unless, desperate times call for desperate measures. I don't know. All right, so next up, give me a book. If it mentions like bookstore, bookshelf, book has book in it, book about books. I don't know why I always want to read these, but I do. So, The In Between Bookstore by Edward Underhill. Let's tell you about it. When Darby left Oak Falls for college in New York City, all he wanted was to get as far away as possible, find a community where he could start fresh, and finally forget about his childhood best friend, Michael, and just how painfully their friendship ended. Now, about to turn 30, Darby suddenly finds himself unemployed, with no better alternative and questioning where he really belongs. He moves back to his hometown, but the changes in Oak Falls, the planned community with his mother's new condo, the trendy coffee shop, they make him feel off balance. And Michael's still here. Their relationship's still distant and strained, even though they've both changed. One thing is familiar: in between books. Darby's refuge growing up, an eventual high school job. When he walks into the bookstore now, Darby feels an eerie sense of deja vu. Everything is exactly the same. Even the newspapers are dated 2009. Weird. And behind the register is a teen who looks a lot like Darby did at 16. Even weirder. Who might just give Darby the opportunity to change his own present for the better, if he can figure out how before his connection to the past vanishes forever. Give me a story like that, and I will definitely read it. It's like, dude, you're talking to your younger self. It kind of looks like you. You don't remember what you looked like when you were a teen? No pictures, whatever. But yeah, the In Between Bookstore, honestly, I love the premise. It sounds fun, and I'm pretty sure I'll enjoy this one. The next book is called A Harvest of Hearts. Let's tell you about this one. Everyone in Foss Butcher's village knows what happens when the magic workers come. They harvest human hearts to use in their spells. That's just how life in her kingdom works. But Foss, plain, clumsy, and practical as a boot, never expected anyone would want hers. When a sorcerer snags a piece of Foss's heart without meaning to, she's furious. For once a heart is snagged, the experience is, well, unpleasant. Oh, yeah, really? Okay. I mean, it sounds like it would be pretty unpleasant. Yeah. So Foss finds herself stomping towards the Grand City, towards his enchanted house, and demands that he fix her before she keels over and dies, or whatever happens when hearts are snagged. But the sorcerer, Sylvester, is not what she expected. Petulant, idle, and new to his powers, Sylvester has no clue how to undo the heart taking, or how to do much of anything really apart from sulk. So Foss's only friend is a talking cat, and even the house's walls themselves have moods. As Foss searches for a cure, she accidentally uncovers that there is much more to the heart taking and to the magic workers themselves than she could ever have imagined. Dun dun dun. And I thought that sounded interesting. And there's a cat in it, so I like books with cats. So those are what I'm going to get into, and let's see, what am I most excited about out of all of those? I think probably the cannibal book, The Lamb. I don't know. It is intriguing and weird and gross. So I don't know that one too about the hearts though. That one sounds pretty good too. I mean, I thought all of them sounded good. That's why I picked them up. So later tonight, I'm going to read more Inferno's Air, and I am still plugging my way through The Stand, so hopefully I will finish that sooner or later. That one I've been kind of like reading like 50 pages here, 50 pages there. It's just so overwhelming. Like reading a book that is 1,200 pages is freaking daunting. And I have to take breaks from it and read other shorter books in between and interspersed. So we will finish that one eventually. And I will definitely have a standalone review for that one coming in the future. But yeah, what have you guys been reading lately? What has been in your week that you've been getting into? Whether it's watching or reading or listening to, let me know down in the comments. I'm always curious to see what you guys are getting into. If you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.